Hello, hello! In this video we're going to go through a simple mapping and we will be using a classic for this, changing a user's balance by depositing and withdrawing funds. We will not go through the getter this time, but I encourage you to try and build it on your own, and regardless if you are successful or not, I will leave the code for it in the repo. And before we move to the Yule contract, notice here that I've commented out these two require statements. We will not be handling these, but we will have to deal with the actual withdrawal. That's it, of course, if we want to allow the users to get their funds back. Maybe we don't want to. So let's move on to the Yule contract, and I've already prepared our assembly blocks here. And let's get started. And what do we need to do here? Well, we need to get the storage pointer of the balance of the user. And in order to do that, we need to run kcheck256 on the msg.sender plus balance slot in this order at the same time. Now, the kcheck256 only runs on memory storage, so we would need to store in memory these two values first. So let's get started. Let's use msstore, and let's store in the 0x40 slot the msg.sender, which would be caller, and let's use the next slot, the 0x60, and here we would need to store the balance slot. And now we need to run the kcheck256 on these. Let's save the result in a variable, and we would run kcheck256. We are starting from 0x40 and we need to get two slots, so 0x40 is the second param, and that is it. We now have the storage pointer of the balance, but we need to get a value, and let's go with another variable, addr balance, and we need to load from storage the addr balance slot, and we would do that using sload, and that is it for this step. And now lastly, we need to update this this balance to the new one. So we need to use store, and the first param is the slot, the storage slot that we want to update, and in this case it is addr balance slot, so we can just copy paste it here. And the second one, this will be the sum of the existing balance plus the msg.value. So in order to get that, we would run the instruction add on the addr balance, and to it we would add the msg.value, which has the equivalent of call value in Yule. And we are done. So let's go now and deploy this, and let's deposit 1 ether, if I can type. And if we deposit it, now we see the balance of the contract is 1 ether, but let's actually check my address, and if I run balances on it, I actually do get this long number in way. So we're done with the deposit. Now let's move on to the withdrawal. And for withdraw, well, let's see what we can take from here, or rather what we need from here. We know we will need the storage slot again, and we will also need the balance. So we can copy paste these and just put them here. And from here, what we need to do next is to update the existing balance with the funds that we are withdrawing. So we would use store, and again we have addr balance slot here, just like previously. And here in the second argument, we actually need to subtract from addr balance the amount. So we would do that using sub, which is an instruction for subtracting, and from the addr balance we are subtracting the amount. And that seems to be it. Let's redeploy it, and now let's deposit again 1 ether. Notice I've deposited it. I have 97.999, and let's check our balance. You can see here that we have these billions of way, and now let's try to withdraw it, and we withdraw it, and what do I see here? Well, I didn't get anything back. Should I check the balance? And the balances show it's 0. So what is up with this? Why is my money not back? Well, because we actually didn't send it. If we come back to the Solidity contract, well, we need to run something like this in order to send the value back to the user. And how would we do this? Well, we would do this by running call, and call takes 7 arguments. Yes, 7. And let's type it in. Let's actually first have a look at what we need in this call. So this G, this is actually the gas. So let's type this in here. And A, this is the address where we want to send these. So in this case, this would be caller. And now the third argument, this is the V, this is the value, and this would be the amount. And the other 4, well, you would have to go in the documentation and check these out. I'm not going to go through them, but you can just use 0 for all 4 of them. And now we're getting an interesting error, because we cannot actually call this call alone, as this is returning a value. And in order to make sure that this passed, we would actually have to run an if statement on it. And we haven't done if statements yet, but in an if statement, we just pass in an argument, and we would use the accolades here. And in case this fails, we would revert, and a basic revert looks exactly like this. Now there is something missing here, and what is that? Well, in Yule, you are getting 1s and 0s as results of actions that have happened. So this is not a true or false statement. We need to compare this with 1 or 0. And how would we do that? Well, we have another instruction called is0, and we put in the call here, and we're done. Basically, if this fails, then this will return 0, and then it will revert. So let's try it out. Let's redeploy, and let's deposit again 1 ether. And we're going to deposit it, and let's check my balance, of course, balances, and I have all of this way, and now I have 96.999 ETH. Let's try to withdraw this 1 ether, and you will see that I did get my ether back. So that's it with this exercise. Again, I encourage you to try to write the getter on your own. And since in this exercise we can't really estimate the withdraw function, and we are missing some require statements, let's at least have an idea of how good Yule is in saving gas by comparing the deposits. And we have 24.4k for the deposit in Yule, and Solidity, well, this shows infinite gas. So we don't even know how much we're actually saving. Or actually, we can test out how much we're saving. Let's try out a deposit on the Solidity contract, and we're going to run a deposit straight like so. And we are going to see here that we've spent 43.6k. And let's run the Yule now. And let's again deposit, I messed up a bit, let's again deploy and deposit 1 ether in here. And remember, we spent 43.6k, and you will see here 43.4k. So still some saving was done, and that is it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or DM me. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.